Before then, they call you mixed, achieve success in America, and you get upgraded to black.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is a sensitive, nuanced romance film that is still relevant today, nearly 50 years later, for its perspectives on race relations in America. When young Joanna, Katherine Houghton, returns home early from a Hawaiian holiday, her parents are shocked to learn that her new fiancé, Dr. John Prentice, Sidney Poitier, is black. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner highlights the difference that can manifest between ideal and action. Joanna's upper-class parents, Matt, Spencer Tracy, and Christina, Katharine Hepburn, Drayton, are proud liberals, yet their daughter's intended marriage to a black man was still a serious surprise to them. It's sometimes easier to talk about a group or issue when it doesn't directly concern you. Therefore, their attitudes are tested by John's relationship with Joanna, as they are now approached by a section of society that they had previously only really talked about and had little association with. Christina is almost instantly elated by the upcoming marriage, but Matt's stubborn reluctance to give the wedding his blessing, due to the extreme prejudice he fears the couple will face, generates the film's primary conflict. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is a challenging watch in a very complex, gratifying way, and not just because the film's subject matter, interracial marriage, was still illegal in 17 US states until a mere 6 months before the film's release. The fact of John being a Negro, to use the film's terminology, is not the whole issue, and not in the way you'd expect. Matt has no problem with black people and holds great respect for John, but can't reconcile the clear love between John and Joanna and the difficulties they will surely endure. Matt and his counterpart, John Sr., Roy Glenn, have, to an extent, internalized their racial identities. They both view themselves as white and black, respectively, rather than fellow parents whose children are in love. This is driven home by John's authoritative speech in defense of himself against his father, and there is friction and uncertainty, even if only unconsciously, when these quote-unquote groups aim to combine. It's a sad overcomplication, blinding these fathers to the simple fact that their kids love each other dearly. Other issues the film gracefully addresses include how rushed the relationship is. John and Joanna have only known each other for about 12 days, and they are already engaged, and the reality of racism occurring on both quote-unquote sides. Christina's colleague at the art gallery is a bigoted bitch, but ironically, the film's most racist character is the Drayton family's black maid, Tilly, Isabel Sanford, who is foul-tempered, fiercely protective of her social place, and resentful of John as a black man trying to get above himself. Sidney Poitier is a legendary actor of astounding dignity and natural good humor, and his on-screen partner, Katherine Houghton, plays a youthfully naive but very sweet character. Katharine Hepburn, another icon of cinema's golden age, is a wise, assertive figure, and Spencer Tracy, yet another pillar of early Hollywood, portrays a cantankerous yet caring old man who emanates palpable uncertainty and regret. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is a prime example of character-derived dramatic tension. We very quickly warm to the happy couple and hope they will be married and accepted, but John's honorable declaration to not marry Joanna if he doesn't receive both parents' blessings is the instigative factor to an ongoing threat against the couple's happiness. Further complications, such as Tilly's suspicion, John's less-than-thrilled parents coming to visit, and Matt's priest friend, Mike Ryan, Cecil Kellaway, bringing his contradictory feelings to light, which Matt resents, all serve to maintain the tension, increase the risk to John and Joanna's life together, and keep you hoping for a happy ending. The film also has plenty of long scenes with clever dialogue for the actors to flourish in, and has one heck of a brilliant speech at its conclusion. Just as Kaboom made me consider certain questions regarding sexuality, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner conjures some issues regarding race in America and abroad. It's fine to take pride in your race and regard it as part of your identity, but not to the extent of withdrawing into your race and excluding other races from your life, as epitomized by Tilly and John Sr. in the film. I realized that I don't really know many non-white people, at least not in Australia, which is where I live. There just aren't many people of African descent in Australia. African Australians comprise just 2.51% of the population, according to the 2006 census. Many people have a need to try and compartmentalize individuals of bi- or multiracial parentage as one or the other, as they still hold on to an old view of races as discrete categories. South African comedian Trevor Noah, himself the child of a black South African mother and a Swiss father, brought up how Barack Obama was reported as the mixed candidate from Hawaii, but hailed as the first black president when he won the race. There are debates going on in IMDb forums on whether Maya Rudolph and Rashida Jones, two gorgeous biracial actresses, are black or white. Bottom line, it doesn't matter. It's their business whether they call themselves black, white, or both, and is it so hard to accept someone as both? Similarly, being biracial doesn't invalidate you as a member of a given race's culture. Ariana Miyamoto, the recent Miss Universe Japan winner, may be half African-American, but she's stunning, and by birth, language, culture, and upbringing, she's just as Japanese as a quote-unquote pure Japanese person, and so is equally suited to represent them. On a side note, offspring of interracial parentage tend to be really attractive, so here's to more couples like John and Joanna. But the biggest issue Guess Who's Coming to Dinner makes you think about is the fact that there are still very few films in which a black man has a white female partner or love interest. Hollywood studios still don't think we'd accept it. The only examples I can think of off the top of my head are this, Othello, obviously, My Baby is Black, Shaft, though those are hookers so they don't really count, Samba, a recent French romantic drama starring Charlotte Gainsbourg and Omar Sy, that Cheerios Super Bowl commercial a few years ago, Series 8 of Doctor Who, and Indigo Prophecy. There's better representations of black men with white women in porn than in mainstream film. It would be great to see this double standard addressed, especially in such a way that a black man-white woman pairing is shown as just normal and not dwelt upon. Anyway, after this lengthy tangent, let's get back to the movie. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is an engrossing, tender, and subtle romantic drama with great dialogue and performances, and asks some necessary questions about our perception of race, then and now. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner earns 4.5 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.